here in the Silhouette Studio, and I'm going to show you how to use a simple design to create a t-shirt using heat transfer vinyl. And as you can see here, I have my little design, my logo already set up. And because I'm using heat transfer vinyl, I need to mirror my image. So I select my image and hit flip horizontal. The way it cuts on our machine, we're actually cutting on the wrong side of the vinyl. This is the part that's going to adhere to the t-shirt, so we have to flip our image. Okay, here we are at the Silhouette Cameo, and I'm going to show you how to load your heat transfer vinyl. You can see this is the super shiny side. That's the side you want down. And this side here is the matte side. That's going to adhere to our t-shirt. So we want that side up. That's why we reversed our image. I'm going to go ahead and line this up on my cut mat. And the reason I'm using a cut mat rather than just loading media as I would normally do for vinyl is this stuff is very flimsy. And when the blade runs across the top maybe 1 or 2 inches, it just kind of rolls around. It actually doesn't cut in some places, so that's why I'm using the cut mat. Give it some resistance against the blade. And my mat is getting kind of old and it's not super sticky, which I kind of like for certain things because it makes peeling my vinyl off a little bit easier. But I do tape it down with every new project. Okay, I'm just doing a quick weed of the internal portions of the letters to make sure that my cuts went all the way through. It's kind of hard to tell on this heat transfer vinyl because it's so smooth. But I will tell you, I put my blade at a 3 even though the vinyl called for a 1. This is a little bit thicker than your average vinyl, especially if you're using Oracle 631 like I mostly do. I did a few test cuts and that's the one that was the most successful. I'm going to go ahead and trim my heat transfer vinyl. And you're not getting the negative of the image. We're not weeding the actual letter to lay the whole thing down and paint over it. This is what's going to be our design. So anything you cut, say I gave 1/2 inch there, that's just wasted heat transfer vinyl, and this stuff is expensive. And one of the things I actually really love about this heat transfer vinyl is it weeds so nicely. I mean, other vinyls, if I were to do this, all these letters would start pulling up, and the first time it's a little terrifying with this stuff, but it actually it's nice and thick and resilient. There we have it. The next thing to do is to heat up my iron and prep my t-shirt. One of the best tips I've found for finding the center of your t-shirt is to take your seams and put them together. Pull that nice and flat and tight. And I just have a towel here over some boards. And my iron is nothing fancy. You want it to be high but not too high. You don't want to go on the absolute highest setting you have. Okay, so here we have our center line. It's going to make it a lot easier to find out where our center is. We want it to be right about here, maybe 2 inches from the collar. Since this is a scoop neck, it can go a little bit higher. It can go about 1 inch. and the N on fitness is my center there. And this stuff is kind of sticky, so it's nice. It kind of holds it in place for me. Make sure that that's all flat. So I'm going to do 10 seconds, move it, 10 seconds, move it. You don't want to drag your iron across it. You want to go up and back down. I'm going to gently pull the corner here to make sure that that's all stuck down. That looks good. Make sure nothing wants to come up with it. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is go get some of my parchment paper and lay that over the top and go over it one more time. I'm going to wrap just a dish towel around this board and put it underneath in the t-shirt so I can press a little bit more firm on the design. And again, press for 5 to 10 seconds. It looks really good. I can see just a little bit of texture from the t-shirt through there, but this is kind of a super soft t-shirt, so it'd be hard to see too much texture. But that looks good. And our t-shirt, our tank top, using heat transfer vinyl is done. It looks great.